So let's just bring ourselves here to this moment as much as we can. Start by just bringing our attention to the breath, breathing in and out. Our feet on the ground. You know, we can be aware of thoughts, feelings that we've brought with us into the room that are there, but we can just return to the breath. And become aware of our connection with each other in this group. Be aware of the other people who are here with us this morning, or at whatever time we're in this time. And then reaching out with our energy, with our hearts, we can say together the Sufi invocation of Hazrat Inayat Khan. And we can say the expanded version, which Jelani will help us with. Towards the One, the perfection of love, harmony and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the message, the mystery, the miracle, the Mother, the Spirit of guidance. Let's begin this moment and every moment, if we can be conscious with awareness of unity, of Allah. Bismillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We begin in the name of love. Consciousness of unity. And we're going to begin with the introductory Bismillah of Samuel Lewis, which some of you may know, with the words Allah,
Allah,
Rahman, Rahim,
Rahman, Rahim.
Allah, 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 Rahman, Rahim, Allah, 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 Rahman, Rahim. Again. Allah, 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 Rahman, Rahim. One more time. Allah, 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 Rahman, Rahim. So for almost the entire dance, we're going to be singing with that rhythm of 4 Allahs and then Rahman, Rahim. And I'll be giving you directions on how to move. But for the first time we sing it, we're going to be singing 10 Allahs before we do the Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Anyway, so if you can and wish, then you can stand. This is quite an energetic dance. So we're going to be walking, normally we'd be walking to the right, holding hands. So even if you can't do very much walking, I would encourage you to be aware of your feet moving. Really be aware of your feet on the ground, pacing out the Allah. And then we're going to do 10 and then Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, and I'll give you directions. And we're going to be, to begin with, just lifting our arms together as if we're breathing in, and then lowering our arms. Lifting on Ar-Rahman, lowering on Ar-Rahim. So let's begin. Can you just give us the chord? I want to be able to hold your hand to begin. Allah, 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 Allah. Raising hands. Ar-Rahman. Well, let's stop. Hang on, let's stop it because I haven't done 10. I'm just forgetting my own instructions here. Okay, and we start with the right foot. Allah, 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 Allah. Lifting hands. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Allah, 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 Allah. Moving around the room if you want to. Really feeling the energy of it. One more time, lifting and dropping. Next time we're going to be doing one turn to the right. turns if you can. Just do that one more time, the 3 turns. Next time. Next time back to 1 turn. Breathing in love, breathing out love. Rahman, expansive, radiant love, unity. Rahim, deep, compassionate love that penetrates deep within, deep to every part of the universe, every part of our being. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Again, we're just returning to the breath. Ameen, Ameen. Thank you. So welcome to some more people who arrived while we were doing that. Hi. Is there anything else, anything you'd like to say about this morning?
Well, are you going to do that first? I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why don't you just do that?
I'll just do that. Okay. Not being a great one for saying a great deal, I think I'm just going to do the next song and dance. So some more Arabic words, of which I really love the translation. So this is Astaghfirullah.
Astaghfirullah.
Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. We take refuge in the purifying presence of the One. I like that idea, taking refuge in the purifying presence, the refuge, the sense of refuge, of protection, of being held by something bigger than ourselves, something comforting, perhaps something purifying, cleansing. And then we say, La ilaha illallah.
La ilaha illallah.
Nothing exists except unity, that connection that is all that is. So, I'll sing it. So I lost my capo there for a minute. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Sing that twice. La ilaha illallah. Astaghfirullah. Sing that. Astaghfirullah. Let's sing the whole thing. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Astaghfirullah. Again. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Astaghfirullah. Is that okay with everyone? The word's okay? Yeah, good. A few nodding heads, excellent. So, let's do some movements. Very simple. We have this quite common and traditional movement. We're bowing to the left, leading with our heart, as always, to the left, then back, bending our knees, and then to the right, back, and then we're doing this sweeping movement where we're sweeping our heart in a crescent movement and stepping to the right at the same time, and then bowing our heart again to the earth. So that's on, let's just do it. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Repeat the movement. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. And then on La ilaha illallah, we step back with the left, step back, La ilaha, and then back forwards with the right. Back left, La ilaha illallah, and then we turn to the left. Astaghfirullah. Just tuning in as we turn to this presence, this vast, infinite presence in which we are held. So let's do that. Let's go for it. And you can watch Jelani, who's very kindly going to start by dancing it, if you need a little bit of guidance. And then she's going to pick up a viola when you've got it. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Step back to the left. La ilaha illallah. Forward to the right. La ilaha illallah. Turn to the left. Astaghfirullah. Low voices. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Astaghfirullah. High voices. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, together. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Astaghfirullah. Now just breathing the words. Quietly. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Again, coming back to the breath, coming back to our presence, our bodily presence. In this moment, we take refuge in the purifying presence of Allah, of unity, in which we are held, in which we have our being. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Breathing in that unity, that purification. Breathing it out. Amen.
Amen. I'm so grateful for the power of these practices that we do, and the power of the song and the music and the dance, the movement and the sacred phrases which help me to find a ground of being to support me. When I'm actually feeling very rocky in these rocky times. Somebody asked me how I was this morning, and I kind of did that British thing of saying, fine. And it's, of course, not true. I'm not fine at all. Are you? I mean, maybe you are. I really hope you are. But for me, it's all kinds of things. It's all kinds of triggers. I read an article in the newspaper last night just before I went to sleep, which was probably a bit stupid. And part of me was really glad to see it in the newspaper, to see these things being reported in the mainstream press. Of course, they've taken it away this morning, but it was an article about some scientific research which shows that one possible outcome of climate change is that by 2080 the UK will not support arable agriculture. We won't be able to grow food in the UK by 2080. So that was what I went to sleep with. That's probably not in my lifetime, but it's certainly in my children's lifetimes. And that's on top of the situation that we're finding ourselves in here with the increased restrictions coming in across the UK with the COVID pandemic. And I dreamt about my mother in the night, and I miss her. She's 6 hours drive from here, and I don't know when I'll see her again, and I miss her. When I see her, she drives me crazy, but I miss her. So, these are the things that are rocking me at the moment, and I'm kind of tempted to pause the recording and to allow us to, some space to name some of the things that might be rocking you today. And then, because we have, this is one truth, this is one reality, and then we have these practices, we have our connections, we have so much to support us through this. So this is not the end of the story. But here goes, I'm going to pause and we can share. So thank you all for your sharings and for naming some of the huge stresses that are around. I'm sure even people who didn't speak could feel some connection with something or other of what's going on, so there's a mantra. It's making me smile because this is at Rissa's dance and she's here today. So there's a mantra which I find really helpful in this context. This is an English mantra, a kind of made up mantra, but that Pir Shabda of the Sufi Ruhaniyat uses a lot with us, and it's to repeat, this is how it is right now. This is how it is right now. We're so used to having desires for things to be different, and a lot of our distress comes from our agitation and wish to change things and to make things different, and we can understand and see how much better things could be, and all the frustration of why can't other people see that too, and all of that is true, all of that can be true, and at the same time our distress comes from our lack of acceptance, really. So if we can just be with what is. This is how it is right now, because it is. This is how it is. And no matter how much we want it to be different, that wanting doesn't actually change what is right now, here, in this minute. This is how it is right now.
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 And then we're going to put with that 2 Arabic words which speak of healing. Ya Shafi, Ya Kafi.
Ya Shafi, Ya Kafi.
So Ya Shafi, source of all healing. Ya Kafi, just exactly what we need right now. It's enough. What's enough here and now? Maybe it's enough just to sink into this is how it is right now. Ya Shafi,
Ya Shafi,
Ya Kafi.
Ya Kafi.
Ya Shafi, Ya Kafi.
Ya Shafi, Ya Kafi.
So, and the 2 parts form, they can harmonize together. We can sing, we can choose and move from one to the other. So the English part first goes like this. This is how it is right now. 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 And then the other part. Ya Shafi. This is how it is right now. 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 This is how it is right
This is how it is right now. This is how it is.
Everyone, Ya Shafi, Ya Shafi, Ya Kafi, Ya Shafi, Ya Kafi, Ya Shafi. Ameen, and thank you, Rissa, for beautiful melody. So, over the weeks and months, we've been working with some of the 99 names in Arabic, the beautiful names of the Beloved. And I wanted to return to that today. There's the next one is, I think, very appropriate for where we are at the moment. So I'm going to read a little bit, a couple of little pieces, and then we'll do some practice with it together. So this is the name Ya Azim, Ya Azim. And Al-Azim, our book, The Physicians of the Heart, tells us actualizes the divine presence. It involves feeling this presence in the depths of your soul, literally in your very bones, feeling the divine presence right in the bones. So the word Al-Azim comes from Al-Adam, which means to grow strong in the bones. It is the experience of the infinite in your deepest essential self, as well as in the world around us. Al-Azim means to embody the divine presence in a complete way, in a physical way. A most difficult part of human actualization is reaching the stage of being able to bring the structure of your inner realization into balance with the structure of your outward manifestation in the world. And this to me speaks a bit of what some people said earlier about the frustration of knowing and feeling something and yet feeling that incongruence with it in the world around us. So this is about how we can actualize our knowing and our being and manifest that fully in our presence in the world. So the invocation of Al-Azim is a very helpful practice for all who pay attention to realization in an abstract sort of way, but who cannot bring their realization out and function with it in daily life. It is a divine quality that is called on for the accomplishment of extraordinary aims. There is an awesome or overwhelming feeling connected with this name. The root of Al-Azim alludes to the 100th or the greatest name of God, the unknown name. And that's a reference to the fact that we have these 99 names, and in fact there are more than that, but 99 is a number which expresses an infinity of names, and the 100th is a sense of completion, the ultimate name which is unknown. So just a couple more bits about Al-Azim. So So Al-Azim comes from Al-Adam, which means to go strong in the bones. Its meaning literally has to do with the bones, the hip bones. Growing strong in the bones becomes an inward experience of omnipresence. For one who realizes Al-Azim, each and every sign of the divine gives the experience of a vast and infinite presence that can be felt in your bones. And another little piece. So the most difficult part about actualization, about bringing our reality into the world, manifesting it, is reaching the stage in which one doesn't get ruffled or knocked off center. Reminds me of the story about the martial arts student who said to his teacher, "Sensei, how is it that you never get knocked off balance?" And his teacher said, "Well, the reality is I get knocked off balance all the time. It's just that I regain my balance more quickly than you do." So this is the thing, it's enabling that inner strength that enables us to regain our balance each time we get knocked off. So somebody's put in the chat what is the book I'm reading from. It's called The Physicians of the Heart. It's a really wonderful book that I highly recommend, talking about the psychological effects of these spiritual practices. It's written by 4 very wonderful teachers, Wali Ali, Maya Bilal Hyde, Faisal Muqaddam and Shabda Khan. And you can find it on Amazon, or it's also available as a Kindle if you want. And I'm not on commission. So the practitioner who has realized Al-Azim is always anchored. This state is not so much associated with the Hara center as taught in many yoga systems. That's the Hara is just below the navel. Although that is important, but you are fully anchored when the Absolute descends into your bones. So we're really getting this real solid strength from realizing the divine right to the core of our bones. Oh gosh, actually I just want to read a little bit more because there's so much beautiful stuff here. Okay, when the experience of the Absolute comes, the brittleness in the bones releases an awesome amount of terror. It's the fear of being alone in existence. It's the fear that this universe can be destroyed, or that it can destroy one and all. And this is what we're facing at the moment. This is the terror and the fear that is being really shown to us with great clarity. As a result, when the divine omnipresence has not been brought thoroughly into the bones, there's no empowerment. There's this fear just brings us disempowerment. But when the fears dissolve, the bones become soft, and the second stage of actualization is a stage of suppleness and vulnerability. The bones are like cartilage. They're supple, soft, and pliable. It's not that they have solidity. They have freedom. They can breathe again. Literally, we can now breathe in the bones. So this sense, which can be experienced sometimes as a kind of falling apart from this terror, we can also experience that as an increase in freedom, suppleness, softness, vulnerability. And then, in time, the bones, the soft bones, begin to gel and transform into what might be called diamonds. The bone levels are like compressed salt diamonds. They physically contain in them a divine presence. And this is seen in some of the great relics of enlightened beings, such as those treasured by the Tibetan Buddhists. Some of these bone relics are like pearls, and some of them are like diamonds. Al-Azim demonstrates the actualization of the infinitude of the divine in our bones. So this transformation through actualization of the divine into this diamond strength in our bones. So we'll do some repetitions of Ya Azim, calling on this actualized divine, this strength in our bones. And Katie, thanks for putting the name of the book into the chat. So just to say about it's written A-Z-I-M, but often this particular Z is pronounced more as a the sound, al-azim, al-azim. So we'll say Ya Azim. So we'll do one round of the beads with this. And I invite you to use every aspect of your experience to connect with this word, because it's more than a word, it's more than letters making up a name. It's sound healing, it's vibrational. So we can use the sense of our hearing, the taste of the words in the mouth, the feeling, the sensation of how the sounds land in the body. We can use our imaginative power to play with some of the images that I've read to you from the book, so that we can take in this healing strength into our very bones, maybe even visualizing our skeleton turning to pearls and diamonds, and also aware of that process, going through a sense of fear, vulnerability, softness, through softness into supple freedom, and ultimately into diamond strength. Ya Azim, 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 Ya Azim. Let's continue breathing in Azim, breathing it into the core of our bones, breathing out Azim, allowing the vibrations of this name to continue on a more subtle level, more subtle vibration penetrating deeper into the bones, deeper into the structure of our bodies, our beings. An ever deeper realization of the magnificence of the One, the magnificence of sacred unity manifesting through everyone we meet, through every situation, through every experience. And manifesting through each one of us. As it awakens this diamond strength in the core of our being. And we can allow the words to fall away and just breathe with this essence of magnificence. Deeply allowing this magnificence to manifest through each one of us. Amin.
Amen.
Ya Azim. So we've got a dance to close with, which helps us to explore this magnificence of Ya Azim. And there's a practice which I find wonderfully fulfilling, a wonderful experience that I invite you to take out into your life this week, which is to greet the world as we meet it with Ya Azim. So, for example, I see a tree and I bow to that tree. How wonderfully do you manifest to me through this tree, O divine presence. Can we bring that to each person that we meet, to each situation that we meet. How magnificently do you present yourself to me, oh divine presence, through this experience. Ya Azim.
Ya Azim.
So in this dance, Ya Azim, hu, Allahu. Ya
Azim, hu, Allahu.
Allahu, Allahu, Allahu.
Allahu, Allahu, Allahu.
So hu, this sound of the divine breath, also a kind of divine question to the universe. Hu. Hu, 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 hu. And then As-salam alaikum, peace be with you. Wa alaikum as-salam, and also with you.
As-salam alaikum, wa alaikum as-salam.
Here's how it goes. Ya Azim, hu, Allahu, 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 hu, As-salam alaikum, wa alaikum as-salam, Ya Azim. We'll try that again, shall we?
Too many chords.
Too many chords. So I'll sing it in a little section so that you can have a chance to sing it back. So, Ya Azim, hu, Allahu, 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 Allahu. Let's sing as far as there. Ya Azim, hu, Allahu, 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 Allahu. And then the next part. Hu, 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 hu. Hu, 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 hu. As-salam alaikum, wa alaikum as-salam. As-salam alaikum, wa alaikum as-salam. So it's really wonderful to wish each other peace in this, because, you know, as we've explored, sometimes this manifestation of the magnificence of the One is quite terrifyingly awesome. And let's have some peace with that. We can also wish each other peace in that experience. Let's sing the whole thing through and then I'll show you the movements. Ya Azim, hu, Allahu, 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 hu, 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 hu. As-salam alaikum, wa alaikum as-salam, Ya Aziz. So we'll stand up. Do join us if you want to. And either you can share these movements or you can modify them to suit yourselves. So the first part, the Ya Azim, we're going to do this great big bow as we honor the magnificence of the divine as it shows up right here, right now. So you can bow to somebody on the screen, or you can bow to some situation or a tree or an animal or a person that you really want to honor. I honor the magnificence of the divine as it shows up, as it manifests right here, right now. Ya Aziz. And this is the fun bit. And then this is where we would take a partner if we were dancing in a circle, and we would be waltzing together. So just invite a partner in and let's waltz together. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum assalam, ya Aziz. This magnificence manifests through each one of you right here, right now. Ya Aziz. Ameen, Ameen. You know, it often strikes me that the human race has always faced chaos and disaster and death. That's been the reality of our experience over millennia. It's really only in the last 100 years or so that we've had this extraordinary sense that we ought to be immortal and somehow that we have the right to live, easy and healthy and long lives. But up till now it's never been an assumption. And these practices arose as part of supporting that approach to life, so that we evolved alongside our spiritual practices, which were part of seeing our experience as part of something greater, something eternal, something eternally magnificent, eternally comforting. We can't fall out of that reality. We're part of it inextricably. 'Inextricably. 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 'Inextric
even with death.
Death is part of it too. So for now, until we meet again, let's dedicate what we've done for the benefit of all beings. Let's sing, may all beings be well, may all beings be happy. Peace, peace, peace. And dear friends, I invite you to take what has been helpful from what we've done and carry it with you. I invite you to greet everyone, everything you meet with Ya Adim in your heart, this magnificence. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. Peace, peace, peace. Blessed be.